The Miss South Africa pageant has just finished, and we're so excited that we decided to film a quick review on the pageant itself. Hi everyone, this is Justin Cappuccino, and welcome back to my channel. So before we start this video, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications bell for more of our pageant-related content. So now, going to the Miss South Africa pageant, we were so excited with this pageant because we saw that they invited a lot of past and reigning beauty queens to grace the event. And it was so star-studded in terms of, heavy names in terms of pageantry, especially with around several winners from the 3 franchises that the Miss South Africa organization currently have. They invited the reigning Miss Supranational, Miss Universe, and Miss World. And aside from that, they had Catriona Gray, Miss Universe 2018, and Zimi Mabunzi, Miss Universe 2019, to do the backstage hosting. Aside from that, we had Pia, we had Tamarind Green, we had former Miss Universe Margaret Gardiner, as well as Rolene Strauss, and Basetsane Kumalo, who is, for those who are not very well aware, she was the first runner-up to Aishwarya Rai in Miss World in 1994. So very star-studded yung panel of judges, yung backstage host, and pre-live finals na hosts. In that regard, this is probably one of the national pageants who was able to invite that much star power into their live finals. Now, what really got me excited with the Miss South Africa pageant is actually the quality of candidates that we saw them pick for their top 10 finalists. For those who are not familiar with the Miss South Africa pageant, ang ginagawa nila is that they select a top 100, a top 100, a top 50 from numerous applicants from all over the country, and then they're gonna narrow it down to a top 30, which later on they will narrow to a top 10. And yung top 10, sila ngayon yung magko-compete on the live finals, which happened just recently. Ang maganda kasi na nakita ko dito sa Miss South Africa pageant is that every year they're able to select very diverse women in terms of race, in terms of ethnicity, skin color, backgrounds, ideologies, different shapes and sizes, and as well as different accomplished women. And the common denominator that I've seen throughout the years is that they've selected women na range, na malaking range in terms of representation, in terms of diversity. So when it comes to the top 10 candidates, top 10 finalists for Miss South Africa, ang nakitaan ko dito is yung diversity of backgrounds. And we have a doctor, we have a pilot, we have a couple of women who are studying to be lawyers, we have marketers, we have entrepreneurs, and we have women with dance, a couple of women with dance backgrounds. We also have a pilot, if I'm not mistaken. And ganun kadami yung or rather ganun ka-accomplished yung mga babaeng sumali this year, and hindi siya naiiba with with the past batches where we got winners who later on became certified doctors like Rolene Strauss and Tamarind Green. In terms of how the women performed, wala akong masabing nag-stand out because they pretty much were on a level playing field in terms of the performance. Granted na may ilang mga girls like I would say Kailan, Zimi, Lalela, and Bianca, and I think to a certain degree, ipapasok ko din si Jenny or Johnny into the mix of women who were really strong performers. But in terms of the total competitiveness level of the candidates, nag-shine yung mga na nakapasok sa top 5 and nakapasok sa top 3. Now, in terms of prediction, hindi ako gumawa ng prediction this year because I always get, the Miss South Africa um, results wrong. In the past, karamihan ng mga girls that I wanted to win only end up as a part of the top 5 or, a runner-up position. And this year, ngayon lang ako tumama sa kutob ko when it comes to, the possible winner. And I actually wasn't keen that much to release a prediction on the Miss South Africa because I felt that wala akong tulak kabigin kung sino man ang manalo sa kanila because all of these women who made the top 10 were really, really strong in terms of their pageant resumes. So if you review their individual resumes in the Miss South Africa website, wala kang masabi dahil lahat sila magagaling. Now, in terms of the actual na performance, I really thought that it was Bianca and it was Lalela who really, fought it out when it comes to the performance aspect of the competition. So I think that Lalela early on and stood out on the evening gown competition, while I would probably give the swimsuit best swimsuit performance to Bianca or even to Zimi and I forgot her name, and Johnny. Johnny was a surprise for me because I really didn't pay attention much to her in the months during the pre-pageant activities. Pero nung finals, nakitaan ko na malakas din ang chances ni Johnny na pwedeng manalo in the pageant or in the competition. And then it so happened that the top 5, two of my favorites who I wanted na sana manalo made it into the top 5, and I was heartbroken a little bit for Kigothatso, who I thought na would have made it to the top 5 as well this year kasi when she competed during the year of Zozibini in 2019, she also actually made it into the top 5 in that batch. So I was expecting na this year, because she's a strong communicator, papasok siya sa top 5. And unfortunately, I think na lahat ng mga nakapasok sa top 5 really performed well in the finals, and I wasn't looking at Moratwe and Zimi, but when it comes to the speaking rounds during top 5, I think those two ladies were among the really strong ones. Let's go muna dun sa mga Q&A ni na Bianca and Johnny. I think that they did well, but they weren't as strong as compared to the answers that Lalela and Zimi delivered. I think yung dalawang yon, si Lalela and si Zimi, were the ones who really impressed. They're the ones who really killed their question rounds, especially with Zimi on her question on why should transgender women be allowed in the competition. And the moment that she said that the moment that she uttered the word trans visibility or trans women being visible, I think that was like a nail in the coffin. Automatic sa tingin ko, pasok na siya sa top 3 at that time. And I was actually thinking that for the title, based on the top 5 Q&A alone, baka ang mag-aaway for the Miss South Africa title would be Zimi and Lalela. And I wasn't wrong when kinutuban ako that it would be the black girls who will be making it on further into the top 3 of the competition, which happened. And during that interval, when they are already giving their mission statement, I thought that it was a very very smart decision, or rather very very wise decision for the Miss South Africa to do that, because I was able to to notice that they were how do you call this? They were following patterns from the Miss World and the Miss Supranational and the Miss Universe na elimination rounds. Yung prepared speech ng mga candidates on why they should win Miss World, that was very much reminiscent of the way that the candidates did their mission statement. And then yung after the top 5 was announced, na nagpalit sila into gowns that were of similar color and similar cuts. That was I think something that Miss Supranational has done in the past. And of course, yung swimsuit and the evening gown competitions, that's really pretty much a throwback to the Miss Universe pageant. But when nandun na sila sa top 3, it was no longer a question of sino yung maganda, sino yung nag-perform, but rather who is the one who is most likely to bring into the table, into the Miss South Africa table, a mission statement that is heartfelt, that is actionable, that is focused, and that is going to be helpful to the organization itself. And the way na nilahad ni Lalela, ni Zimi, and ni Moratwe yung mga mission statements nila, doon sila nagkatalo-talo ngayon. Doon totally na nag-stand out si Lalela in the competition. And here's what I think happened, Zimi gave a very short and a very generic answer. That she wasn't able to personalize, or she wasn't able to expound on, or not even give more meat into the answer. It was a good answer, but with the level of the competition that she was facing with Moratwe and with Lalela, nagmukha tuloy na she got stumped on what to say for her final na statement. Yung naging problema naman sa tingin ko with Moratwe was that as I was listening to her speak about her gender empowerment na mission statement, ilang beses niyang ginamit yung word na I. And I think it sounded na masyadong self-centered yung kanyang sagot. And I think that is why the lead went to Lalela. What I liked about Lalela was that malumana yung pagkakasabi, fluid yung thoughts na ibinigay niya in her mission statement, and the fact that meaty, malaman yung words na ginamit niya in the way that she was delivering her speech was something that made her stand out a little bit more than the rest of the top 3. And I think that was when doon na nail, kumbaga doon na naging decisive for me that it might be Lalela who will be ending up with the crown. And I was glad that yun nga ang nangyari, because when they initially announced the top 10 finalists way back around August or early September, I thought that I needed to look at the backgrounds of the numerous candidates, the 10 finalists, and from what I've read about them, nakita ko kaagad na ang mangyayari nito, everybody is going to be falling for the likes of Bianca, na maganda, matangkad, very Caucasian yung beauty, very Western yung ideal ng kanyang ganda. And I think a lot of pageant pages went that way, because yun na nga, hindi mo maikaila na in a lineup mag-stand out si Bianca because of her physical beauty. However, when I was looking at their interviews, I was looking at their bios, nag-stand out sa akin si Lalela because she has that spark that I didn't see in other girls. I was looking at her Instagram feed, and I found her to be more interesting in terms of background, in terms of her social advocacy, or rather social and community projects. And nung pinagtabi-tabi ko na yung mga candidates, I thought that Lalela has one of the best, bone structures. She had one of the, really better body proportions, and hindi niya naman siya paiiwan face-wise. So, the more that I looked into her, the more that I fell in love with her. That's why among the 10 finalists, siya yung agad-agad kong finalo on Instagram. And that was such a relief for me that she performed during the finals, because I was expecting that kung sino man yung ilalagay ko among my favorites, sila yung hindi nananalo. And this is actually the first time that I was able to predict, correctly, or rather, my favorite ended up with the Miss South Africa title. Now, I wanted also to point out that, this year, I think, napakaganda nung ginawa nila, that instead of announcing the runner-ups, they just left it as they were announcing who is going to be Miss South Africa, because that gives them legroom to play around now kung sino yung ilalagay nila sa Miss Supranational, sa Miss World, with Moratwe and with Zimi in the mix. I personally think that Zimi would be a great representative for Miss Supranational, although I think she would be much better placed in Miss World. I think that si Moratwe would do well in Miss Supranational. With Nico, the male host, announcing that Lalela is going to be competing in Miss Universe later this year in December at Eilat, Israel. I thought that was a great choice, because Lalela would be a very, very strong competitor kung siya ang ipadala talaga sa Miss Universe. Although, I wouldn't also discount the fact that they could probably even send her to Miss World, should Lalela request for it. Overall, I'm very happy with the Miss South Africa pageant. I am happy with the way Zozie and Catriona sustained the energy of the female hosts. I love yung very coordinated yung kanilang mga outfits, especially yung kanilang green na outfits with a very floral na background. I think the Miss South Africa is one of the national pageants na mula ngayon, antabayanan na ng lahat. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say for this video. I hope that the reign of these 3 newly crowned na mga Miss South Africa winners will become a very successful one. And I hope to see you in the next video. Again, please subscribe and take care, everyone. See you again soon. Bye-bye.